Wow. Severe pain here, left, because I don't squat enough. You know, I'm lying a lot on my back and I'm reading, and I'm not squatting enough and I'm not moving enough. When I'm at home, I should do always these exercises, or I should come here and do them here. You know, I don't care if you have a normal job. If you feel shit, then go to some place. You know, maybe you live next to the beach. You know, I don't know where you're gonna do it. You have to figure that out. But at least during the weekend, you have to visit nature. You know, do something in there. Right? I mean, it's like your body has so many possibilities, what you never knew. But I couldn't do this. But I worked hard on this, right? Then I can be emotionally stable. I feel strong, and I can, you know, be like a kid. And sometimes I do like this. But now I don't really want to do it. It's like, okay, that's enough. You know, my hair is getting really fancy now. It's like, I don't know what's the word. I think you can be a little bit cocky. You know, if you like the way you look, sure, man. But there's also a certain extent to which you can get off on the way you look. Because there's always a bit of anxiety. You know, maybe I'm really ugly actually. Right? So never build how you feel about yourself on how you look, but just try to build it on an honest emotion, like a place in yourself. Okay, now it's enough. It's enough now. Right, so I also work with boundaries, which is why this shirt is a little bit sweaty now, because I wore it while exercising. This is what you call a coiled lanyard. I made it myself from this wheat trimmer. It doesn't matter, look it up. DIY coiled lanyard. I made it and I never thought I would use it until I realized what it was for. Which was my keys, because I move a lot. And I'm often afraid that I'm gonna lose my keys. And if you're concerned about losing your keys, right, then maybe you should do something about it. And now I want to go for that walk and just record. No, I don't know why, but I had this idea. Wow. Now I also understand why you know, green tea with sugar is actually all right. I think it's still better to drink it without sugar, but it's quite bitter. And that is good. I like it. I like feeling my hair again. I haven't had long hair in a long time because I had like this emotional breakdown and I cut off my hair. And now I want to see what happened in the forest. So I can also put off peeing a little, because as long as I move, it's all right. As long as I walk, it's all right. But if I sit still for too long, I'm getting a little bit uneasy. And that means I have to get going again. Sometimes I go past places where I know there's people, because that's also part of my job, right? I have to advertise what I'm doing. It's not I have to, I want to, I would like to. And I think that's good to do what you do when you're doing it. Guten Tag. And yeah, so much for that. I haven't really filmed myself, that's what I said already. Okay, I just want to make sure what I want to talk about. I'm not sure how much to do on YouTube anymore. I think that's something I want to discuss quickly. Because at the moment, people aren't really paying attention to what I'm doing. Or it seems that way. But I don't know, right? It's like, I like to be a little bit ignorant of the effect that I have on the online community, because in that way I'm not under too much pressure. That, you know, I know it's important what I'm doing, because I see that people are really struggling. I mean, most people are in a really bad place, and I'm not saying that like, you know, really fun or something. I'm just saying that for what it is. I'm saying people are in a really bad place because that's what they are. They're in a really bad place. And that's the truth. Wow! I think I have to go back now. Yeah, I have to go back. Alright, that's all you're gonna get from me now. You're gonna get shorter videos, because I also have a podcast to maintain. And that's like 1 hour of talking. But I also have to pee, which is why, bear with me. So, you know, somebody invites you for, you know, for some time to spend together. And I could go for a 1 hour hike now, just to stretch it out a little. But, you know, that invitation may end at some point. And as much as I know I shouldn't worry too much, I'm just walking past my next rapé session. Right, say, I need rapé. I need rapé. And I'm going to order rapé. And maybe I'm going to order less. And maybe I'm going to wait till I have more money. Or maybe I'm just going to order 2. You know, I'm just talking for myself, right? I'm not telling you what to do because rapé is an intense ride, my friend. I didn't start doing it on my own. No, I had somebody that gave it to me. And then I said, I like this. You know, I'm gonna get something and do it. And that's why next time I come here, I'm gonna bring my, what you call that, kuripe. And I'm gonna look for some resin because some things come loose because they glued it together, right? It's like you have a wooden piece and there's like some metal underneath with the crystal, and the metal piece came off. And so I thought, how am I going to fix that on there? Well, fairly easy. Look for some resin. Yeah, all right. It's quite dry, so it may be hard. Or I may look up on the internet how to extract resin from trees in a respectful way so that I can fix my kuripe and maybe even enclose it partly with that resin. And that means, because I bought it from somewhere, it's quite dry. You know, it's like barely water running. Maybe it's normal. Maybe it's normal, right? We always think it's like climate change. Is that still normal? But when I think back on my childhood, you know, it's hard to remember. Did we have heavy snowfall every year? Not sure. You know, so, you know, the weird thing is that having been pushed away by all these people, also, and pushing away people in my turn, also liberated me from spending time with them. And there's something I have to let you know, which is tobacco. The tobacconist, isn't that Monty Python? Tobacconist, the tobacconist. I think it is. Yeah, that also got boring. I don't know how people can keep watching things for the rest of their lives, you know. For me, it's like a death sentence to keep watching movies because you want to make experiences. And you know what's interesting, but I meet people, you know, and these people, they inspire me, I inspire them. And, you know, I see how they struggle and I see how I struggle and they see how I struggle and then they see how they struggle and then they think, hey, we're all struggling. I mean, he may look sexy because he's thin and that's like how everybody thinks they should look, but not everybody has the build to be thin, if you get it. You know, some people are a little bit fat. You know, I eat a lot of food, but I'm thin. And I've been cleansed by nature. And nature wants me to have such a body. For whatever reason. But there's people who also spend time in nature, like Aborigines. And there's some that are a bit thick. And then there's some that are a bit thin. I eat a lot of food. And even if I eat a lot of sugar, you know, okay, I started putting on some weight, I have to admit it. But one reason why I started putting on some weight is because I made a choice for life. This is so weird, right? It's like, now I actually want to go and hide. Then my feeling says, don't hide. Walk in the open. And I say, but I don't want to. And then my feeling says, but you have to, because you've got a job to do. And, right, if I don't talk this much, and I spend time with people, then I'm just gonna piss them off. Because then I'm gonna talk all the time, because it's just like, words are flowing, it's like, and then to them, I'm like a little child. And to some people, it's weird. Because sometimes they meet me, and I'm like, really stern, like. And now I can't take myself serious like this. Because I know I'm not really like that. Alright, sometimes I am. It's however I feel. So when I open up, I'm chilled, I'm relaxed. And I may be overwhelming. So I can open up to the camera, but to some people I cannot open up. And it's weird, because some people, if I don't open up, right, they probably don't open up. But if I open up, they may open up. And maybe, you know, that's what I say. You know, if I don't open up, why don't you open the fuck up? Why don't you, for once, open the fuck up? I've been saved. You know, I've been saved from the streets with a shortcut, with the path I've never taken. I've been saved. You know, I didn't plan to be here now, like this. You know, I thought I felt terrible. And then I was at home and I was writing books and doing all this content creation, being creative, basically. Yeah, and I felt sad and full of hate. And then I go to the forest and I sit there and I start recording. Because I've been keeping most things really close to the chest. Like most things, I can feel when I talk how much sadness there is. But it's alright, man. You know, it's like sadness is stored in the lungs. Hey, what's that? What do you think it is? I always thought like a beehive, but it's not a beehive. Surely might be. Oh, it's a swing. But there should be a beehive here, man. Why isn't there a beehive here? You know, sometimes I think, why don't I go to the city and I talk to them and I say, hey people, I've studied environmental protection. You know, I have a real problem with the state and stuff. I don't like corrupt people. I don't like the money system. But I've studied environmental protection, folks. You know, I could help you, but there's a part of me that thinks that they probably won't want my help. Right? It's like, that's a very big part. Because I've been rejected too many times by too many people. So why should the state again let me do things? Well, it's hard to say. Like, it's very hard to say. But I've been doing my work here, right? I go to the forest because I know this forest is safe, right? Now, I don't go somewhere to the forest in Joburg because I might get shot or raped. Or just beaten to a pulp, right? I don't go to the forest in Canada without knowing what I'm doing, but I'm in Germany, right? There's like barely nothing ever happens here. It's fairly safe. And I went to great length figuring out how safe it is. So I made experiences to figure out how safe can I feel here? You know, how serious do I have to be about people selling really bad weed on the streets, right? So, you know, how concerned do I have to be about criminality, violence, you know? So I had to tiptoe myself into the city where I am. And I had to find out what's really going on, because if I talk to people, they say, yeah, it's like drug wars. It's like, you know, the fourth most criminal city. Yeah, these people live on in the past. Because what I see is there's just nothing. Yeah, there's like weed dealers. Maybe there's like 4 guys that take crystal meth or something. But just stay away from them. I have no interest in weed dealers. It's like, maybe I should get like a spray bottle and just start spraying people just to loosen them up a little, like, shh. Yeah, because nobody will do anything. It's like, what are you spraying me with? It's just water. Yeah, but I also don't want to get all the anger from people. Right? Say, alright. So if you invite me over, I'm gonna come. Because I said I would. Right? If I wouldn't have said I would, I wouldn't come. So now I'm making sure I'm not stretching it out too much. Because if somebody invites me to come, and I'm stretching it out too much, then what does that mean? Well, it means that it's important to that person. Otherwise he wouldn't have invited me, because he knows who I am. He knows I'm an intense guy. But he also can see that I'm doing good. You know, not in terms of I'm walking around helping everyone, but I have my shit together. No, I feel bad. I'm suffering. You know, I'm suffering with grace, with style, with dignity. Which is certainly what inspired the book. The dignity of the... What's that book name called again? It's just The Dignity of the Unvaccinated. Which is no criticism, it's just invitation to dialogue. I have to say that here because people are very concerned about such topics. And the same goes for transgender. So I told you they blocked my Medium account because I posted my opinion on transgender. I didn't say transgender is shit. I said that we need men and we need women. Because who are we as humans, as beings, if we have no direction? You know, if I'm like in between, how are we gonna be as parents? You know, there's a female bird, there's a male bird. Sure, there are male birds that help raise the chicks. There's the cuckoo who puts his egg into another bird's nest, so they only get together for mating. There are women that want to raise their child alone. But I want to be a father. And that's like the biggest challenge of all. Because that means I have to sort it out with a woman. Like the woman, it's like my evil counterpart. If I have a bad day, she's gonna let me know. You know, because then I'm probably gonna get annoyed by her. But I actually love her, right? So if she's poking me, she's on my back, because she feels like I have a bad day, then what's gonna happen? I'm gonna realize, damn it, she got me. You know, life got me. And I let go, alright. I tumbled down some hills, but she's also there to help. And I realized that not having her around physically, and you can tell how I settle more into accepting that she is it. Because I can feel her. And I can't explain how it works. Yeah, I can. But it makes no sense. Unless you're feeling what I feel. Unless you retreat within. Start to figure out what meditation does. And then sort out all the feelings that you have, all the emotions that you feel. Which is something that is very impossible to do when you're watching a movie. Which is why sometimes I have to lay down and I cannot read because there are so many emotions in me. And what I have to do then is what? What do I have to do then? Quiet down. Probably close my eyes, hold myself. You know, I always put one hand on my chest and one on my stomach. And then I figure out what I'm feeling. And what I'm feeling then is often also somebody else. I can literally see them in front of my inner eye. Which is strange, really strange. Like, insanely strange. Because nobody talks about these things. I don't know if other people know this. I doubt it. Maybe they sometimes feel like it could be like that. But generally, I seem to be one of the few people who's completely open about these kinds of things like telepathy, you know, other states of consciousness, all this kind of stuff. And sure, not everybody has to be open about it. Not everybody has to be open about it. You know, you can keep things close to the chest. But then it's also hard to know if it's really true, but if you know it for yourself, that's enough. But I'm also an Aquarius. It's important to know that. I'm an Aquarius. I'm really wobbly. No, water has no form. Which means I had to learn, right, to not lose myself in the roles that I play. Because I'm a transformative agent. You know, sometimes I'm like this, sometimes I'm like that. Sometimes I wear a suit. Well, I'm mostly barefoot. You know, sometimes, you know, I had short hair and now I have long hair. I don't know. But I also realized, you know, I'm getting closer to the real me that I was trying to hide by faking to be someone else. Right? I was trying to be that angry guy with short hair and all, right? It's like, okay, I did that. You know, I did the angry guy. Now I'm doing the bit like stern but friendly. You know, if you're my friend, I'm gonna be your friend. But if you do shit, I'm not gonna shake your hand, right? If you're like some kind of weirdo. You know, I'm saying weirdo, I mean, if you're dishonest about how you feel, then shaking your hand may be disrespectful to myself. Because if you're really angry and you shake my hand and your handshake says, you know, I'm gonna crush you, you fucking asshole. What does that mean? It means exactly that. So I'd rather not shake your hand. You know, just some days ago I spent time in... I've never walked here. Nah. Okay. I spent time in another place. Another place. Another place. Yeah. Which sounds very ominous. Exactly. It's like rich people. Hey. He's so playful. You see, that's that's a rich people place. That's like rich people place. But all these dogs are so playful. You know, earlier I would have shat my pants. I actually don't know if I can continue walking here. Actually, I think I do. But I'm not quite sure. There's also often a problem that if you film yourself, you're not quite sure if somebody's gonna say something, but it's like, I mean, it's not like private here. Sure, the house is private. Wow, they've got nice backyards. Is there a dead end? Sure looks like it. I think I've been here before. Or does it go to the left? It's just like a circle where you can turn. Hey, I thought that was a dog. Okay, that's a dead end. But it's a nice area. You know, sometimes I'm not sure what I'm allowed to film, where I'm allowed to film, if I should film, if I should not film. If it's a question about turning off this thing, I say yes.